right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Well, we are looking ahead to another warm-up with 50s and even 60s on the way for Monday, but some rain may impact your holiday. Timing it out and letting you know how long it's going to stay this warm.
A home crumbling to pieces after contractors hit a natural gas line. Tonight, we're hearing from the workers responsible for the explosion.
When is the killer going to actually stop?
But first, a woman found shot to death inside her car. Police now searching for a killer. Tonight, police identifying a woman who died after someone shot her in the face and then left her in a running car. It happened near Hyde Park in North St. Louis last night. Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. Now at 10, we're hearing from those who live near the scene of the crime. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings joins us now after speaking with people in that neighborhood. Travis.
Good evening, Brent. Police have identified the woman as 27-year-old Tamara Plummer. Tonight, I spoke to neighbors and a leader in the community who agreed this tragedy should serve as a wake-up call.
When I hear the sound of a gun, it is sad. What I say is rest in peace, because I don't know if somebody's actually dead or hurt or...
That sound has been a norm in her neighborhood.
And Bosley tells us he is working on a proposal for some legislation that will help keep young people off the streets. We'll stay in touch with him about those plans. Brandon Bosley, he's over Ward 3. If you know anything about what led to this shooting, you can call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS.
All right, Travis, thanks. We'll work on getting that package a little later in the show. St. Charles prosecutors have charged one of the people accused of breaking into a home, assaulting the owner, stealing his car, and then shooting him. Claude Hakizama is charged with robbery, armed criminal action, and assault. The crime happened early Friday morning in the Wing Haven neighborhood. That's where a little girl heard her dad being assaulted, and then she heard a shot fired. She used Alexa to call 911. Hakizama is being held on a $2 million bond. All right, let's go ahead and take a look now over the Missouri Botanical Gardens. Another cold day in Belleville. Let's go ahead and find out if a warm-up is on the way. Meteorologist Gary Frank with a first look at your Weather First forecast. Hey there, Gary.
Hey, good evening, Brent. Nice. Just a couple more hours left, an hour and 15 minutes left of this day, and it wasn't too bad. We start off with some heavy frost. I don't think that we're going to see a similar setup tomorrow morning. We may see some patchy frost, but it's not going to be as cold, I'll tell you what. And one of the things we've noticed is as we look at Belleville, the wind has picked up. It's out of the south, southeast. It's going to continue to be that way. Our current temperatures have not plummeted. Yesterday night at this time, they were in the low 20s, even upper teens in some cases. We're in the 30s. It's much warmer. That trend continues. It has to do with the fact that our wind has picked up. It's out of the south, even out of the south and southwest in some cases. So that's what we're going to see overnight. Tomorrow, we're actually going to warm up nicely. We're in the 50s, but it's cloudy as we continue to see changes on the way. And that's what we'll focus on here before our next chance for rain. Those clouds are settling back in, and I think that we'll see sort of a rainy holiday. We'll time that out for you and also talk about more rain and even a few flakes of snow down the road.
All right, Gary, we'll see you shortly. Tonight, we're hearing directly from the owner of the company that hit a gas line, causing a home explosion in O'Fallon, Missouri last year. The I-Team's Paula Vassan is more on what he says he wishes he had done differently.
The Stout family says they've been living in limbo for the past 10 months. It all started when a home next door to them exploded from a gas leak. The Stouts were blaming their insurance company, but now say they should have been blaming the contractors that hit the gas line. In an exclusive interview, the owner of that contracting company told us he's no longer running the business. It was March 1st, 2022. This home in O'Fallon, Missouri, exploded after contractors hit a natural gas line. Workers from JDK General Contractor were installing fiber optic cable.
We've got cracks in the foundation, we've got cracks in the walls, we've got roof damage up here. We don't know how much damage is behind the drywall.
For months, the Stouts were blaming their home insurance company. They had received about $60,000 for repairs, but said they needed far more than that. So they hired an attorney. In our reporting, we connected the Stouts with local and national insurance experts. The family wishes they had worked more closely with their insurance from the beginning. They believe they've been pointing fingers in the wrong direction.
And I think insurance was doing the right thing and reaching out to try and help them. And instead of blaming, the contractors and the people that caused the damage, they went after the people that were trying to help them.
We got on the phone with Georgia-based JDK General Contractor, whose crew hit the gas line. Mario Franco told us he's no longer running the business and wants to see change.
Knowing the reality of the dangers of installing fiber optic cable, do you think contractors need more insurance?
Yeah, everybody needs the bigger insurance because I see what happened.
He told us he was required to have a $1 million insurance policy. It won't cover all the damage. He wishes he had double.
What do you want to say to the families who've been affected by this explosion?
I feel bad because I never known this be happening.
A check of Georgia's Secretary of State website shows JDK General Contractor is still an active business. The Stout family says their struggle shows how contractors need not only bigger insurance policies, but more training. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
Great work, Paula. Tonight, the St. Louis Fire Department is honoring the legacy of one of its fallen firefighters. Benjamin Polson was fighting a fire inside of a vacant building. A roof collapsed on him while he went back inside to check for victims. Earlier today, there was a street renaming ceremony in his honor. Friends, family, and first responders gathered at Engine House 13 to honor the 33-year-old's bravery. Multiple speakers praised the young hero, including St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones.
Firefighter Polson embodied what it means to serve your community, to run towards danger on behalf of people you don't even know, because that's what firefighters do.
What was formerly known as Shawmut Place will now be known as Benjamin Polson Place.
God is interested in the freedom of the whole human race.
Honoring Dr. King. Activities this weekend sparking conversation of unity and ending violence. Dancing the Night Away. The annual competition helping raise awareness for mental illness.
Saturday was a good day, but a little colder. Improvement on Sunday, but better chances for rain that will impact your plans on Monday for the holiday. Timing that out and when we'll see additional opportunities later in the week.
Welcome back. We want to get you now to that report we were working on at the top of the hour. Reaction into a Hyde Park homicide. Here's Travis Cummings.
When I hear the sound of a gun, and it's sad, what I say is rest in peace, because I don't know if somebody's actually dead or hurt or...
That sound has been a norm in her neighborhood.
You are actually snatching souls in people's lives from them, you know what I'm saying, that just don't deserve it.
As she walks home, Letitia Hicks Hudson thinks about another life lost just a block over from where she lives. Around 8 o'clock Friday night, police pulled up to this alley on North 21st Street in the Hyde Park neighborhood. They found 27-year-old Tamara Plummer inside a running car, dead after being shot in the face.
It's just too much going on. Like, I'm just afraid that I get the next call that is one of my relatives.
As investigators work to learn who killed Plummer, Hicks Hudson hopes for a better year. But she says it'll take the community to stand up.
You got a lot of people that's scared, that don't want to talk, you know what I'm saying? Because once again, retaliation. You tell on this person, they find out you told, now they mad.
No, our people are not safe. Our mother, our children's aren't safe. Our children aren't safe. It's bothersome.
Alderman Brandon Bosley over Ward 3 wants to repaint the picture of his community with a better narrative and knowledge.
These folks that are dying every day in my community don't have health insurance, don't have life insurance, don't have what it takes for them to be able to create a better environment for the children that are left after they lose one.
I asked him about the presence of the new police chief in St. Louis.
That won't make no difference if you have individuals in the Board of Aldermen and our state legislator saying that individuals need to reduce the amount of police presence based on saying that we need to defund the police.
Bosley says it will take people working with police to see progress.
Several local communities are honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. The Centennial Christian Church hosted a lunch and learn event for teenagers today. The MLK Youth Fest is a forum on preventing violence in North City. Parents were able to have some serious conversations with their children over lunch while discussing the impacts of violence. There was also live entertainment and prizes. Well, powerful conversations continued at the Missouri History Museum. That's right. Today, families came out to learn about the civil rights movement and social justice. There was also storytelling, craft workshops, and service opportunities. Tomorrow afternoon, there will be a keynote speaker and even a gospel yoga event there at the museum. MLK Day is officially celebrated on Monday.
Conditions outside only got to around 39 today. 2 days in a row below average. First time in a while, but we'll climb above average. How high we get and how long we can continue that streak in January.
Tonight, new research shows a link between gas stoves and childhood asthma, prompting claims on social media that gas stoves may be banned. Brandon Lewis from our National Verify team looks into it.
1 in 3 homes has a natural gas stove in the kitchen, and a new study links childhood asthma to the appliance. So there was a lot of confusion on social media when headlines claimed the federal government is considering banning gas stoves in response to the study. So let's verify. Is there a national ban on gas stoves in the U.S.? Our sources are the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the White House. The CPSC is an independent government agency that regulates the manufacturing and sale of some consumer goods, like stoves, in the U.S. The gas stove controversy started earlier this month when a CPSC commissioner said in an interview that the agency is considering a gas stove ban. Soon after, the head of the CPSC issued a statement saying, "I am not looking to ban gas stoves." And the commissioner who made the initial comment tweeted a clarification that the CPSC is not coming for anyone's gas stove. So, no, there is no national ban on gas stoves in the U.S., and the White House says it has no plans to do so.
The president does not support banning gas stoves, and the Consumer Product Safety Commission, which is independent, is not banning gas stoves.
However, some cities like New York and San Francisco have banned new natural gas hookups for things like stoves in most future construction projects, but people who currently have gas stoves do not have to replace them. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Well, Friday the 13th proved to be lucky for one resident in Maine. The state landed its first Mega Millions jackpot winner. The winning ticket, worth just over $1 billion, was sold at the store in Lebanon, Maine. The winner has not yet stepped forward to claim that prize, but now they could either choose to take the lump sum payment worth $723 million or an annual payment of over 30 years. Well, it's a new spin on a popular dance competition, and it's all for a good cause. Just a few hours ago, St. Louis business leaders partnered with professional dance instructors at the Ritz-Carlton to compete in the annual Dancing with the St. Louis Stars. As part of a fundraiser for Independence Center, a St. Louis nonprofit that is committed to supporting those struggling with mental illness.
We meet them where they are in their journey of recovery, and we find out what do they need. Is it education? Is it employment? Is it simply a socialization and a place to call home?
Dancers campaigned for votes where each vote was worth a $10 donation. The couple that raised the most votes were crowned the dance champions. Other awards included the MVP award, judges' favorite, and the crowd favorite. You know, Gary, I could see you in something like that, Dancing with the St. Louis Stars.
Well, you know, I would move around. I'd be doing some moving, but I certainly would not be getting the MVP.
You don't think so? Most valuable, no.
Yeah, no, there's nothing valuable about, I don't have anything valuable.
Most valuable weathercaster.
That, especially with this kind of January weather, I think we could probably get on board with, unless, of course, you operate a snowplow. then I just don't have good answers for you here in the short term. But the good news is we got lots of time left with this cold, so we understand that. With January, though, we've had a very nice sunset and sunrise off and on, and I want to share you a few of them because Lois sent this in from Olney, which is in Franklin County. Very nice area. I mean, Lincoln County, that is, I'm sorry. Rolla, this is Kim in Rolla, a very nice sunset as well. These are part of our 5 on Your Side weather watchers. We had some really nice photos, so I wanted to share those with you, at least as we finish off the night nicely. It is quiet, even though you can't see much right now, obviously. The fact is that this camera is not moving around like crazy like it has been of recent. And now we're halfway through winter. Now, winter we define not only with the winter solstice, but the other is meteorological winter, December 1st through the end of February. We're halfway there. We've got over 1.5 inches of liquid precipitation. That puts us at the 25th driest. 43rd lowest snow total through this date, 2.6 inches. That's what I meant. We need some of those snow plows to get busy, and I'm sure we will because our average is over 16, and then our average temperature is 36.7. That's no surprise. We're in the top 20 warmest. Now, we did stay warmer overnight, and I want to show you this cloud cover on the Illinois side that acted as a blanket on that visible satellite imagery because it really helped keep things cool, but then on the other end of the spectrum, our temperatures warmed up a little bit better. We started off at 19. It was one of our cooler mornings with 14 in Chesterfield, but we rebounded so nicely in the upper 30s, as I mentioned. And where we are right now, we're 35. Last night, we were about 22. We really dropped pretty quickly. We're not headed there. I think tonight we're headed for the low 30s and even maybe a little cooler on the Illinois side with the inverse effect, with less cloud cover there as we have more. There will be more wind tomorrow, and I think as warmer air settles back in, what we're going to see over the next 24 hours is cloud cover increasing and then rain holding off until after midnight. But once it spreads through for the early holiday, if you have to drive to work early, you're going to deal with the bulk of the rain Monday morning and then a break in the afternoon with a few scattered showers after that. Otherwise, the next few days are all in all, once again, still above average as we approach the statistical coldest period, which we're kind of in right now, but here within the next couple of days, our average low is 23 and there are not many of those numbers on there. So no bone-chilling cold, but also nothing too crazy.
Yeah, we like
as
that.
we finish off the month.
Very good. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Gary. Well, we've got Corey standing by. You're working on a lot.
It was a packed day in the world of sports, from that wild playoff game you maybe just saw right here on 5 on Your Side to the Blues hosting Tampa and winter warm-up this morning. We've got it all covered next in sports.
The Sports Desk is brought to you by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer, 10 years running.
How about this for a sports Saturday? We've got just about one of everything to choose from, so let's give the wheel a spin. Let's see what we'll tackle first. All right, it's the Blues. That's fitting. They had a big matchup with Tampa at Enterprise Center tonight. Cool puck drop, the inaugural Blues Hall of Fame class with Braden Shen and the hometown kid Pat Maroon facing off at center ice. Blues got off to the fast start. Tyler Pitlick on the breakaway, and he beats Andrei Vasilevsky to make it 1-0 Blues. Later, Blues down 3-1, and Pavel Buchnevich brings them within a goal, but it didn't matter. Alex Killorn's going to make it 4-2 Lightning, and that's the final score. The Blues are now 8-10-2 at home this year, and Craig Berube knows that's not good enough.
Our home play has not been good enough this year, and I think, that's what I see right now. I see not, like I talked about, not playing a gritty enough game. We gotta do a better job of it.
Saturday is for college basketball too. A lot of college basketball. And we had a neat one over in Edwardsville to kick things off. Our two local OVC teams squaring off for the first time at the Division I level. So let's go over to SIUE, where the OVC leading Cougars hosted the first-year Division I Lindenwood Lions. This is DeMarco Minor with the tough drive and finish for SIUE and Coach Brian Baroni. You see him right there. Great job so far this year. Then it's going to be Keenan Cole for Lindenwood. He nails the triple. Later on, Collinsville's Rayshawn Taylor can fly down the court, and he can finish with the best of them too. SIUE gets the win 68-58. They've now won 7 of their last 8 games. Mizzou and Dennis Gates were down in Gainesville today trying to get back on track against the Gators. Kobe Brown had himself another fine game, 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 steals. That's a nice stat line. But when you shoot 3 of 18 from beyond the arc as a team, you're probably not going to win, and the Tigers couldn't today. Florida wins 73-64. Mizzou is back in action against Arkansas on Wednesday. SLU had a better day in D.C. taking on George Washington, and the Javonte Perkins we saw today is the one SLU needs the rest of the season. Perkins poured in 27 points for the Bills as Javon Pickett added 24 more off the bench, and SLU gets a nice road win over George Washington, 81-74. Winter warm-up is back and the biggest names are rolling into town. On Monday, new catcher Wilson Contreras will get his introduction to Cardinal Nation. Today, his backup Andrew Kisner talked about the addition of the former Cub and how he handled the offseason with the Cardinals shopping for a new catcher.
Yeah, I figured they would. You know, I think everybody's excited to have Wilson join the team, and he's a winning player, and I think he's going to help us win a lot of games this year. And you know, I'm just hoping that he's ready to retire that Cubby blue and throw on some red and adopt the Cardinal way and get to work.
Wild NFL playoff game tonight on NBC between the Chargers and Jaguars. Look at that score. I highlighted it. 27-0, Chargers right before halftime. Well, about that, Trevor Lawrence had 4 picks in the first half and was money in the second. Hits Christian Kirk to make it 26-30. They go for 2, they get it, and the comeback is almost complete. Enter Edwardsville's Riley Patterson, biggest kick of his life, and he nails it. Jacksonville pulls off the 3rd largest comeback in NFL history to win 31-30 and move on. Huge thrill for the local Edwardsville kid. You know, he's been dreaming of a moment like that his entire life. I can't believe that game.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, he had a lot of folks cheering him on, too.
Definitely.
Very good, Corey. Thank you.
It was great, but I just still can't get over the fact that he had a little Wheel of Fortune thing. That's you know what I'm saying? Like,
there was so much to talk about.
I know.
Just about anything.
I loved it, but you know, that's all I could think about. You know,
as a plug, watch Wheel of Fortune on
exactly.
5
Thank you. You know, and I don't want to play Wheel of Fortune when we've got 10-day forecast because it's not going to change all that much. You know how it can change, but we're going to get to 60. We got a little rain, a couple of flakes of snow in there, but we don't have that Arctic cold, so that's the wheel we will not spin.
There you go, and we'll take it too.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my friends. We hope you have a great night.